They stepped on my head and called me a filthy duck rat. But my body remembers how to cut open a monster's throat with a single slash. That kind of memory doesn't belong to a duck rat. This feeling is like a nightmare I can never wake up from. I remember a forest where a tall man taught me how to draw a bow. His voice was warm. "Steady, child, steady. Breathe with me." The arrow flew from the bowstring and struck a giant stag glowing red all over. He lifted me high into the air, his voice filled with pride. "Well done, my son." I remember him teaching me how to butcher prey, using a knife to cut through its hide. He said that a hunter deserved everything he had won. I remember him calling me a true Volson hunter, saying that one day I would become a great lord. That was the most glorious day of my life. I gave all my toys to my little sister and told her that I was a hunter now. Then the nightmare began. Flames, screams, and an even larger monster stormed into our great hall. People fled in every direction. All I remember is that, amid the chaos, I picked up a weapon and shouted, "I am a hunter." After that, there was only darkness. When I woke up again, everything had changed. A strange man held me in his arms and forced me to drink a glowing potion. He said it was to give me a better life. He said my father was dead. He forced me to repeat over and over, "My father is dead." Tears streamed down my face, but I didn't know who I was crying for. He then said that from now on, my name was Vigo, and I was his son. And just like that, Erling, the Lord's son, died. Vigo, the duck rat, was born. 18 years, 18 whole years. I lived in the mud of the docks. My adoptive father, Morin, was a drunk and a brute. Every day, after working myself to exhaustion, he would ruthlessly take every penny I earned. He said that since I ate his food and slept under his roof, my wages belonged to him. Whenever I resisted, all I got was a beating. I often gazed at the castle in the distance, feeling that I was never meant to belong here. It was as if another person lived inside my body. A soul that yearned to fight, that yearned for glory. Until that day, when I saw that flag. "Gather all hunters. Join the hunter trial." At that moment, the soul inside me awakened. I would take the trial. I would become the Lord's hunter and sit at his table. I would escape this so-called family forever. When I told my adoptive father about my plan, he only laughed at me. "You've got some nerve. You're nothing but a failure. You want to go? Fine, first, pay me back for 18 years of raising you." I ignored him. I knew this was my only chance. But the gates of the trial ground seemed to be closed to me as well. Gunnar, the Lord's adopted son, blocked my way. He and his pack of followers looked at me as if I were garbage. "Bad news, Doc Boy, the trial is close to you." I ignored him and walked straight to the registration desk. "Where do I sign?" Gunnar grabbed me by the collar, his face full of arrogance. "My father is in charge of the trial. Who do you think you are? Look at you, you don't even have a decent knife." I shook off his hand. The problem with rats is that we know how to fight. The conflict was about to erupt. We grappled with each other, and his men rushed in all at once. Just then, an authoritative voice stopped us. It was Lord Hagen. He looked at me as if I were nothing but trouble. "I don't care who started it, all I care about is that you look like a trench digger." He turned around to check on his precious son, Gunnar. Gunnar immediately put on the look of a victim and cried to his father about what had happened. I thought my chance was over, but the Lord gave me a chance. If he doesn't belong here, the trial will prove it. At last, I stepped into the trial grounds. The first task, hunt a wild boar. Gunnar charged ahead and speared the boar, proudly taking credit before his father. "First blood is mine, father." But the boar was completely enraged. It turned around and sent him flying. Amid the chaos, the boar charged straight at me. I didn't think. My body moved on its own. Sidestep, dodge, strike. The blade sliced precisely across the boar's neck, killing it with a single blow. The entire movement was smooth and effortless, as if I had done it 1,000 times before. Everyone was stunned. The Lord's wife, that proud woman, murmured to herself, "That is the Volson family's sword technique." The man beside her immediately demanded, "How could a dock boy know the Volson sword technique?" I didn't know. I only knew that my body had given them the answer for me. When the trial ended, Gunnar became the lead hunter, while I was merely an assistant hunter. A more flattering name for a servant. In the armory, Gunnar came after me again. "Assistant hunter? That's just a dog that follows behind us and picks things up. My father only tossed you a bone because he felt sorry for you." I stared at him and said, word by word, "A dog that killed the boar while you were scared shitless." He was enraged, and we fought again. This time, I didn't hold back. But they had the numbers, and I was soon pinned firmly to the ground. That coward named Gunnar planted his foot on my head. Trash belongs beneath my feet. Just then, the Lord's wife walked in. When she saw the injuries on her son's face, she was furious. She walked up to me and grabbed my chin hard. "How dare you lay a hand on my son? You reek of the docks." She slapped me across the face, and blood seeped from the corner of my mouth. I looked at her and smiled instead. If your son had even half your strength, I might actually be in trouble. Her expression froze instantly, filled with shock and a trace of confusion. That night, Lord Hagen came to find me. He saw the injury at the corner of my mouth and ordered me to sit down. He took out some ointment and gently treated my wound. His movements were gentle as he murmured, "Steady, child, steady." In an instant, long-buried memories struck me like lightning. The forest, the bow and arrows, the warm hands. "Father?" I called out the word instinctively. His body stiffened, and he stared at me with a look I had never seen before. There was shock in his eyes, suspicion, and a trace of hope. I knew something was about to be revealed. I was no longer a dock rat, nor was I a servant. Who am I? I would soon find the answer.